We really are passionate about our state. It's so beautiful, and we just want people and all Tennesseans to help us keep it that way. We really want to make sure that, our beauty, and from, west to east to even middle Tennessee, we want to make sure it's nice and clean for everyone to enjoy. I like to get people to volunteer and to get out there and keep our world clean, man. Litter's disgusting. No one likes it. Currently, there are 88 million pieces of litter on Tennessee roadways at any given time. TDOT currently spends $23 million on picking up the litter, educating about the litter.
The Nobody Trashes Tennessee campaign, there's some great videos out there.
Yes.
And I was watching the litter lessons and the show and get to know the Red Plastic Cup. Tell us a bit about the campaign and some of those characters.
Red Plastic Cup, he thinks he's a movie star. So he started off with a talk show, and then he got a movie. And in our movie, he got, more characters. Water quality expert was Sal, the smallmouth bass.
Yeah.
And his bodyguard is Trash Squatch. And if, we can go into Trash Squatch a little bit too, but love Trash Squatch.
The award-winning Tennessee Wildcast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee Wildcast. We're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching and listening. We got a great show lined up for you today, Don.
We do.
It's all about cleaning up the trash.
I know. It's amazing that, normally our guest doesn't come in talking trash, but she was from the get-go this morning.
Man, we might have to censor some of the show.
Oh, no.
We'll get into some of this. This could be a fun show. I guarantee you.
I like that intro, Don.
All right.
Talking trash. All right.
Hey, let's give some respect to one of our radio stations.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, WDEH in Sweetwater, Tennessee, over close to you where you came from there,
Yeah,
Jason,
where I grew up, close
East
to there.
Tennessee. And anyway, we are on from 7 to 7:30 on Saturday mornings, and it's AM 800.
Awesome.
WDEH.
We do appreciate the radio partners. That list is growing, and I'm excited about that.
Yes. Yep.
We also appreciate our TV partners and the stations that run the video side of the show.
That's
if you
right.
listen to the show, go watch, and if you watch, go listen.
Yeah.
You can catch us anywhere in the ride, on the way to work or wherever you're headed, and you can watch us at home on the YouTube channel and TV stations. And
Sure.
stuff. So
We're
it's fun.
everywhere. We're everywhere.
We're everywhere. All right. Well, today we have Brittany Morris. She's the outreach coordinator for highway beautification with TDOT, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
We're glad you're here with us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started, and then we'll dive into this trash.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am from originally Arizona. And I went to school in Colorado, and I just kept moving east. And then I found my home here in Tennessee about 5 years ago and got this wonderful job that I love with TDOT.
Awesome.
And like you said, Dawn, I talk trash all day long. But I would like to say it's a clean version. I want people to clean it up.
Exactly.
So that's what I do. So Nobody Trashes Tennessee is the Tennessee's official litter prevention campaign. And we have at TDOT a long history of litter prevention campaigns reaching back all the way to the 70s. We really are passionate about our state. It's so beautiful, and we just want people and all Tennesseans to help us keep it that way. And even our visitors, we really want to make sure that, our beauty, and from, west to east to even middle Tennessee, we want to make sure it's nice and clean for everyone to enjoy. So,
Yeah.
And I love that your background is in biology,
yes.
wildlife, and
Yes. I was telling them a story a little bit before we got started here this morning that I did an internship when I was in undergrad with Arizona Game and Fish. And I spent 2 weeks on the high desert chasing prairie dogs for bubonic plague research. And that's where I decided I'm really meant for an office. I'm not really meant for, listen, I could do a few days. I have grew up with conservation, sportsman. My dad's a big hunter and a fisher and angler. And my current boyfriend is as well. So they get along great.
Yeah.
So I have that background. But I was like, I need something that utilizes that passion that I have for wildlife, but more of an office setting. And
Yeah.
so this job was perfect for me. I was like, I like people too. I like to get people to volunteer and to get out there and keep our world clean, man. It's litter's disgusting. No one likes it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, if you ask my wife, I've always said keep Tennessee beautiful. That's kind of been. I
Yeah.
think I found a T-shirt or something a
You
long time
probably-
ago.
It's that marketing.
Yeah,
Really good job.
It's like
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no sense in throwing your trash out the window or when you're hunting or fishing, leaving the trash there on the bank or whatever. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
And I am old enough to remember the Tennessee Trash Campaign with
Yes.
Ed Bruce and his predecessor before him, even back to the 70s.
Yeah,
right,
back
when
to
that started?
the 70s, back when like PSAs really were like in your face all the time. And our Tennessee Trash, oh my gosh, that like my first day on the job, they showed me this video and they're like, you have to watch this. And I'm like, why? And they're like, people will bring this up to you.
Yeah.
Like people are passionate about Tennessee Trash. And I was like, okay. So I watched it and I'm just like, the rest of the day I was singing that jingle. And I was just like, yes. But obviously, we can't use it anymore. But it did have a really long run, like all the way into the 90s. So it was like a really long running litter prevention PSA for us. You
And
know?
like you said, that jingle is an earworm, just sticks in your head.
I'm afraid to sing it because else I'm going to be the rest of this interview like
Right.
singing it. I was like, yes.
Right.
We'll let Don sing it.
Yeah.
Well, we got a long list of things we want to cover today and bullet points here, but just I guess we'll start with the scope of the litter problem in Tennessee. What's that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So currently, there are 88 million pieces of litter on Tennessee roadways at any given time in this state.
Wow.
And TDOT currently spends $23 million on picking up the litter, educating about the litter. I mean, it is very expensive.
Yeah.
I think the going rate right now is around $500 a mile is what TDOT pays for contracted pickups. So if you see them out on the interstates picking up litter pickups, that's costing about $500 just for a mile. So it's very expensive. It's not just disgusting, it's expensive. Like it's costing a lot of money to try and beautify our state. And if anyone drives our roads, you know, some people, I get this complaint all the time. It's like, I don't see it like it making a difference. And I was like, well, technically we are.
Yeah.
Because about, back in 2016 when, we did our data like we did with 88 million, back in 2016 it was 100 million. So it is going down by about 12%. So we are doing something. It is working, we like to say. People are starting to like maybe become more aware. Hey, I should really be mindful of what I'm, putting in the back of my truck. That's a big one. A lot of people think it's, some person driving down the road and they're throwing out their window. That does happen. Don't get me wrong. That does happen. But about a little over 70% of what you see on roadsides is what we call unintentional litter. That's what people didn't really think. Like I know a lot of people who pick up trucks, they are like, oh, I drink this, bottle of water. I'm just going to throw it back here and I'm going to get it later,
Yeah.
But then they forget about it. And then when you get up to 55 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, where does it go? Out the back of that truck. It does not stay in there.
Out.
It does not stay there. So that's really what you're seeing are not covered loads. Someone's hauling some furniture. Maybe they're moving across the state or something like that, and it's not covered with a tarp, which technically is illegal. You should have that covered.
Oh, really? So that's the law?
It is a Tennessee law. Yes, absolutely. So cover your load. But they can lose a piece of that furniture or something comes out of, a drawer of that furniture and that's becoming litter. So it's really, really important. Kind of also be mindful. Like you could be like, oh, I don't litter. I'm not a litterer. I don't do that. But also be mindful of like your vehicle as well and what you're doing with that vehicle, because then that's going to also potentially run into the issue of, you are a litterer. Like you didn't mean to, but you did it. And that's really what's most of what you see on our sides of our roads is that unintentional litter that someone didn't mean to, but it's there.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So the Nobody Trashes Tennessee campaign is kind of kicked off, so you said around 2016.
Yeah, 2017 is when we launched it. We did a little bit of a relaunch, I think in like 2020, 2021. Obviously, the pandemic kind of messed with everything.
Yeah.
But
it's cool to see that impact.
Yeah.
So you've seen an impact based off the studies, which I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but I mean, how do you gauge those numbers? How do you find those numbers?
We have, we hire, it's actually a company that actually does this, and they literally, we went out with them, go to a specific point, and we've chosen the points across the state, rural, urban, suburban, make sure it's a really good, and just did research. And they are, I'm not kidding, on the side of that road in safety vests, combing through the grass and the gravel, and like, oh, there's a cigarette butt. Got to write that down. And they're plotting it, like GPS plotting it. And and they're getting all that data, like what it is, where it's located at. Like could this potentially be intentional litter or unintentional litter? Like there's certain categories. And they compiled that all for us and told us the highlights, basically. I mean, they even broke it down to like, certain brands and stuff like that, which we don't use because it's not the brand's fault.
Right.
Like, it's not their fault. It's the person who intentionally or unintentionally littered. So.
Wow. So that's good though. This
Kind
is
of a
that impact.
similar thing to us doing a stream sample.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, very similar. I mean, TDOT does those too. Like they go out and our mitigation office does stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, very similar. It's just litter. It's just out there, just looking at trash. It doesn't really move, so it's there.
Unless
so,
it's a windy day.
Yeah, unless it's a windy day, and you're chasing after it.
So I guess that's part of the visible litter study, right?
Yeah, that's the visible litter study.
So y'all are out there, well, not you specifically, but the group of folks who are contracted to do that are out counting trash.
Counting trash, yeah.
And, but it's great to see or hear that that impact that's made an impact. The numbers coming down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. We
in
hope
the right
it's-
direction.
Yeah, I mean, we love to do our litter campaign, but we want to know if it's working or not. If not, then we got to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that it is working. I think people are becoming a little bit more mindful of trash.
Changing the mindset. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was about to say. So you got some pretty cool campaign things going out there.
Yeah.
If you haven't visited the website, nobodytrashes.tennessee.com. And there's some great videos out there.
Yes.
And I was watching the litter lessons and the show and get to know the Red Plastic Cup. Tell us a bit about the campaign and some of those characters. That's pretty neat.
So Red Plastic Cup, he thinks he's a movie star.
Uh-huh.
He thinks he's just the greatest thing ever. So he started off with a talk show, and then he got a movie. And in our movie, he got more characters, and like we had experts, like water quality expert was Sal, the smallmouth bass.
Yeah.
And his bodyguard is Trash Squatch. And if we can go into Trash Squatch a little bit too, but love Trash Squatch. But yeah, he thinks he's a movie star, and his little co-host Grumpy Food Container is keeping him humble. Like, hey, like you're just trash. Like so you're not really important. But he had a talk show where we got some of our litter ambassadors on there, like Coach Penny Hardaway from University of Memphis. Awesome. Eddie George. So like we had some really great experts on with Red Plastic Cup, giving us some information about the litter problem in Tennessee and why people should care. But yeah, he's sassy, man. He's a character for sure. He has his own little like box he travels in. Yeah. Yeah. He's great.
It was fun to watch some of the videos and just, it's the creativity there.
Yeah.
The Zoom calls and the back and forth.
Yes.
Do you get feedback from kids on the campaign?
Yeah, so not a whole lot. I haven't actually had a child come up to me, but I know my nieces. They're not Tennesseans. They're in Arizona still.
Yeah.
But my nieces love it. So they think I'm like, hey, watch this video. So I guess I got like a little audience I kind of bounce things off of for them. But yeah, they love Trash Squatch. They think Trash Squatch is like awesome. And they think he's a bear, but he's not. He's Trash Squatch. But I mean, that goes in line with everyone thinks Sasquatch is a bear half the time. No.
You never know.
Yeah.
He's out there somewhere, right?
He's out there somewhere. Always out there.
When I first saw it, I thought, man, the kids would really get into that. And,
Yeah.
And, that's a great approach, too, I think, to the whole situation. If you can get the kids, kind of like the Buckle Up program, if you get the kids buckling up.
Because trust me, your kids will tell the parents if they're doing something wrong.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
So if they see mom or dad, throw something out that
What
they're not
were you
supposed
doing?
to, they will bring it up.
Yeah.
They will bring it up. So yeah, we do have some programs that actually do go out to schools and teach about litter and why it's an issue and stuff. And Trash Squatch originally started that with going out to schools. And just teaching about quick litter, like him and the TriStar Rangers, about why it's a problem, why they should care. And it was really awesome. So yeah, kids definitely are easy audience for sure.
Yeah.
Easy audience, because they're just like, yeah, you shouldn't litter. That's bad. We shouldn't do that. So yeah.
Yeah, they'll keep you in line.
Oh yeah, they'll call you out.
They sure
yeah,
will.
if you're a parent, they will call you out, and you're just like, dang it, how do I get out of this without like
Exactly.
full on lying to them? Yes, yes.
Well, so how it can impact wildlife. I mean, we are a Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, so we
Yeah.
can connect the dots here. And watching these videos, y'all even connect those dots
Yeah.
on your videos, and you've got the state fish, the smallmouth, you've got state mammal, the raccoon. He's
Yep.
the editor, right?
Yes.
And then a smallmouth
Rocco.
is the water quality expert.
Sal, yeah.
So it's cool to see how you're connecting wildlife and talking about that too. Some of the videos talk about how trash goes into the water, into the stream,
Yeah.
can affect fish and other wildlife.
Absolutely. Obviously, you see litter on the sides of your roads. Litter moves. Litter is mobile. You get a really good rainstorm. Where does that go? It goes down our drains. It goes into our watersheds, our streams, and
Yep.
then our rivers, and then our lakes. So it's very mobile, and so it doesn't stay on the sides of our roads. So if it's out there long enough, you're gonna see that same piece of litter when you're fishing next time. So we really want to educate people that, like, if you just see litter, pick it up. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where you're at. If you see it, pick it up, because it's like you cannot litter, but also help us be part of the solution as well. So yes, it's a problem. We do support programs like Keep the Tennessee River Beautiful. They like pull thousands and thousands of pounds of litter out of the Tennessee River and their tributaries every year. And it's crazy. But like the things like, I know we were talking about this before we started, Dawn, like it's crazy how the big items that they find are mobile. Like, you're like, how did this get here? Like, there's no one around. How did this get here? And it's because litter moves. Water is a very powerful part of nature. So
Yeah.
it's going to take with it the trash that's there.
Yeah.
And then of course why does it affect wildlife? Well, wildlife don't know better. They think that's food. Obviously, they think that a piece of trash is food. And then, as in, say it's a fish. As an angler, do you really want to be fishing and keeping a fish that ate trash?
Yeah.
And that was its part of its diet. That's not healthy for anyone as part of the ecosystem. So you really people should really care about the trash that's on the side of the roads, because at the end of the day, it's going to end up in our water system as well. That obviously affects our wildlife.
Yeah, and the character BP, the banana peel.
Banana peel.
Yeah. Sanitation specialist is his title on
Yes.
on the show. But so he made a statement how food scraps can attract wildlife to roadways.
Yeah.
So that endangers the wildlife and the people driving the cars. That's one thing I had not thought about.
That's what a lot of people don't realize. And it's funny, there's been some a little bit of argumentation with us when we bring that up as an education point, is they're like, an apple core, it'll biodegrade. I'm like, yeah,
Birds like it, right?
it will, but what is going to be drawn to the roadside? If anyone's ever hit a deer or an animal in their car before, it's really, sad. It ruins your car. But like, it's there for a reason. So like, if we can prevent them from coming to that roadside, even just a little bit with like food scraps, like that's helping everyone out. But yeah, so yeah, your food scraps, even though you're like, it's biodegradable, I'm going to feed the birds. Like, don't. Just keep it in your car.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that. But like, keep it in the car, because at the end of the day, then when that wildlife comes to the roadside or in the road, that's obviously an immediate danger to the humans in cars. So, and obviously to that animal. So you want to make sure, keep everyone safe and happy, because TDOT's number one priority is safety. So if we want to keep everyone safe and happy, make sure that litter, that biodegradable litter, yes, it is, it's food, makes it into the trash can whenever your destination is. Don't throw it out your window.
Yeah.
Because the first reaction is to swerve from that animal, no matter what it is,
Yeah, it
big or
doesn't-
small. You don't want to hit
Yeah.
it.
And of course you don't want to hit it, but it's like, also it's like, now you became a danger to maybe
Right.
another motorist. So like, if we could just prevent that from the get-go, then we're good to go.
Definitely. Well, while we're on the wildlife topic, we've got friends of ours from the Outdoor Stewards of Conservation, Jim Cucurotto and that crew out there. They have the Fill a Bag program. So we've talked about it before on the show, Don.
Yes.
When you're outdoors, take a bag along, whether it's the bag they provide from the Fill a Bag program or just a bag you have. Take it with you and haul out trash.
Like Brittany said, be part of the solution.
Yeah.
Just if you see it, pick it up.
Yeah, it doesn't take but maybe 2 seconds out of your day to pick up that wrapper or not. And if you're like, like, ew, it's gross, maybe grab some gloves with you and then like throw away the gloves when you're done. It really doesn't take that much time or effort or energy to just bend over, pick that up, and be part of that solution to make sure that our state and our world stays beautiful for everyone to enjoy.
So keep Tennessee beautiful and fill a bag while you fill your tag. There's the advertisement there.
Yep.
But also, when it comes to the outdoors, a lot of our high school bass clubs, teams, our officers and biologists organize cleanup efforts. So thankful.
That's a huge part of that program too. I didn't realize that. I knew they fished and they had camaraderie that way.
They help with habitat.
Yeah, help putting the fish habitat out there in the lakes and waterways. And but yeah, I was really impressed with the amount of trash that they pick up and do away with. So that's great.
Yeah. And we really appreciate those kids and those team leaders, and especially our officers and biologists who organize those stream cleanup, float days where they're picking up all kinds of stuff. And like you said, tires and things like, how did this get here? It's large. Yeah. It could be.
You're like, I don't see how this, like, you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like, how did this get? Water moves. Water moves things. Water's very powerful. So.
A little bit of a high water event, or let alone a flood. If a flood happens, and it's just game on. Everything. Oh yeah. Everything
fair
gets
game.
washed
Yeah,
away.
You'll find something downstream somewhere.
Yeah.
That happens.
Definitely. Well, if you're just joining us, we're here with Brittany Morris from TDOT. She's the outreach coordinator for highway beautification, and we appreciate her being here with us today. We're talking trash. Nobody trashes Tennessee. That's what we're trying to educate people on.
Yeah.
But let's talk about how we can help, how people can help.
Yeah.
I'd kind of marked down 3 ways. I think that came off of your website. I was
probably. I was looking at it. And I was like, yeah, it looks like it.
3 ways to help end litter in Tennessee. Number 1 here was obviously don't litter. Yeah. So what would you say to that? I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Don't be a part of the problem. Yeah, absolutely. Don't litter. But also, like, most of what people don't realize is, it's not just the person intentionally litter. It's also that unintentional litter. Mm-hmm. Like, make sure you're covering your loads. Make sure your bed of your truck is cleaned out before you start, hitting the road. Because you get up to that speed and, there it goes. It's now litter. It's on the side of the road.
And I've seen that happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, I'm like, the person's driving. Maybe they're driving really fast. They saw it. And they're like, oh, dang it. I forgot to take that out. Yeah. And it's like,
what can you do now?
It's like, it's a little too late. But, before you go, just like look at your truck bed a little bit. Like, even if it's like a lifted truck bed, hop over and like look and make sure there's no trash in the back. And then you're good to go. Or bring it inside the cab and get I have what we call a car litter bag. So it's something that's on the back of our headrest. And I throw, my empty bottles in there. And then when I get to the gas station, I'm putting it in the trash. Or when I get home, I dump it in my trash. So it's really easy to keep that inside. Keep it before you get to your destination. And throw it away in the proper receptacle.
And a good way to recycle your grocery bags, or
you can make anything into a little car litter bag. I mean, we have our official ones on the website if you wanted one, but I mean, and I hand out quite a bit, but yeah.
So number 2 on the list was pick up trash when you see it. So cleanup events and adopt a highway. So tell folks about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So on our website, nobodytrashestennessee.com, if you /events, we actually have what we call a litter pickup event calendar. So if you're like, man, I really want to get involved, but I don't necessarily want to start my own Adopt a Highway group or anything like that, you can go to our website and see if there's an event near you happening this weekend or anything like that. And we have a lot of affiliates and, people across the state and nonprofits and stuff that submit their cleanup events to this calendar. So you can look and get the information of where to sign up, where to meet up, that kind of thing, what you need to bring, that stuff.
Meet some new friends.
Absolutely. Volunteerism, man. We're the volunteer state. So I really encourage people to get out there and volunteer in your community. And honestly, doesn't take any skill to pick up litter. It really doesn't. It's the easiest thing in the world.
Hey, get a little exercise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get some exercise going, get some fresh air, be in the outdoors. And it's trash, but you're putting it where it's supposed to go. So it's okay.
Hey, Brittany, tell me about the Adopt a Highway. Yeah. I see the signs. Just dig a little deeper into that.
Adopt a Highway has been a program with the Tennessee Department of Transportation since 1989. So we're about 34 years old come October. And it's anybody can do a group. So it's a state highway. You adopt 2-mile section. You get a really cool fancy sign to recognize, your group's really cool picking up trash in their community. And we ask our groups to complete 4 cleanups a year. So it's really easy. Once a quarter, get some folks together, get your church group or, fraternity or sorority if you're in college, and go pick up some trash. And TDOT will supply everything. It has no cost to anyone. We just want your time. time, really.
Nice.
So we'll supply the bags, the gloves, the grabbers, the safety vests, the safety signs, and all that stuff. And it's fantastic. Now, I will have to say, do not send an application in that says, I want to adopt I-24. I will say no, because I really love the enthusiasm, but if you've ever driven I-24, you would know why we don't want you to volunteer on that. It's very dangerous even for our TDOT techs. So it's only our, state routes or state highways that have a mile per hour under 55. Okay. And then like certain routes, I have to say no because there's a blind curve or there's not enough right of way for volunteers to walk up and down. So there are certain areas, but I promise if you are part of the program, I will try and find you a route in the area that you're looking at that meets your requirements, so you're not having to truck it to another county to, get a route. So we will try. But yeah, all 95 counties in the state have an available route right now. So if you wanted to adopt, so definitely go. And that you just, I would just Google search TDOT Adopt a Highway Program, and it takes you right to our homepage where you can apply if you're really interested.
Nice. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably got a crew out there, finding those routes, or you have to kind of eyeball those beforehand, right?
So I mean, I don't want to say I'm making up routes because they're there, but like I have people that are like, hey, can I adopt this section, this section? And so I look at my GIS map and I'm like, well, technically it's never been adopted before. So then I work with my crews on the ground, like, hey, this is like safe, right? Like that's like, I'm not going to be like getting them in a weird situation. Like, no, that's fine. So I do double check with our district offices before I go ahead and have them adopt the section. But yeah, I mean, if it's good to go, if it's under 55 miles an hour and that 2 mile section is a straightaway, you betcha.
Oh, good.
I'll go ahead and let you adopt that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. And that the fact that everything's provided, I mean, I could see even a family doing this.
I mean,
yeah.
TDOT will even take those full bags from you. You don't have to even worry about disposing of them. You're like, oh my gosh, I picked up like 10 bags and now I have to figure out what dumpster to put in. No. We'll take them from you.
Okay.
Just pile them up and call your district coordinator, and then we'll have a TDOT tech come out and get that and pick those up.
Very
good. So we try and make it as easy and seamless as possible to be involved. Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
Great. That's real good. So help us build a movement, number 3.
Yeah.
And so a little bit on that. It just help get everybody involved, educate people on it, and
tell people, man. Like, I'm not about, don't shame people, but like kind of shame them if you see them litter, because that's like obviously wrong. So if you see someone walking down the street and they throw a cigarette butt out, or they just like eat a candy bar and throw, the wrapper, then be like, hey dude, you left something.
Yeah.
And that's how you join a movement.
Did you drop that? Yeah.
Is that yours? Yeah. I could have sworn.
So there's a litter hotline, 1-877-8-LITTER. So if you want to call that line, you can report
someone,
people. Report something being thrown out.
Only if they're Tennessee plate. So I'm sorry if you see someone from Alabama doing something no in our state, but only Tennessee plate. And we'll send them a nice education letter telling them exactly why they shouldn't be doing that, and then what the big problem is in
Maybe
Tennessee.
A grabber and a trash bag.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just trying to educate people as much as possible about like get that second thought in. Make sure you're not littering.
Yeah, definitely. All right. And real quick, no Trash November initiative. That's a push in November.
It's coming up in November. So we this is going to be our 3rd year. We activate as many groups as possible across the state. If you sign up for No Trash November, you have a group to do a cleanup, we'll send you 10 free T-shirts, and we'll even just try and highlight you on our Facebook or Instagram, all that fun stuff. And it's even a competition. So if you wanted to do multiple in the same community and you picked up a lot of trash, there's a good chance that you can get a trophy.
Might even get a red cup autograph or something.
Oh, maybe.
There you go.
I don't think he has hands.
Okay. Maybe a circle. Maybe
just like a little coffee stain.
Little coffee stain. Yeah.
There you go, red cup.
Well, this has been fun. Brittany, thank you.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
If you want to learn more, NobodyTrashesTennessee.com is where you find out more. Join the movement. Help keep Tennessee beautiful, right?
Absolutely. Keep Tennessee beautiful for everyone.
All righty.
Keep up the great work, Brittany.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
You betcha.
Thank you, Brittany.
Yep.
And this is Tennessee Wildcast. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee Wildcast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.